Plenty to discuss on day 2 of Bears training camp. My name is Harrison Graham. We're going to go through the latest injury updates plus reaction from today's practice. That'll be the second half of the video. Let's start with Luther Burden as we got an update. I'll put it in air quotes. I still think it's vague. I still don't think we know completely what's going on, but Ben Johnson did open his press conference with this when talking about Burden. He said, "We were very hopeful that he would be ready to go on day 1 of training camp, but the soft tissue injury he was dealing with in the springtime lingered a little bit longer than we wanted, so really it's day-to-day with him. We're hopeful we'll get him out there very soon." While that's a pretty direct statement, we are 2+ months into this. I actually looked it up. So the day he landed on the ball at rookie minicamp and didn't practice after the next day, and they told us it was a soft tissue injury, that was May 21st. So it is July 24th. So we're over 2 months in to whatever this situation is, because he did miss all of OTAs and minicamp throughout the month of June. And despite the 6-week off period after that, showed up to training camp. They didn't mention there was an injury, was absent day 1, and then before today's practice when he didn't practice either, Ben Johnson labeled him day-to-day with that soft tissue injury, saying that it's lingered longer than expected. Now, Ryan Poles last night was on Hogan Johns for an annual interview they do with the GM, and he said this. He said at the front of this statement that he's going to let Ben address it today, which he did. Somewhat. And he said, "Nothing major in terms of concerns with Luther Burden. He was dealing with a soft tissue deal in the spring. He came back in shape and ready to go." Well, clearly not fully ready to go. Now, he might be in shape. He's been working out. He posted that video on YouTube when he's been in the facility doing stuff, but clearly he's not 100%, otherwise he'd be out there, right? And Ben Johnson on a follow-up later said, look, he's been active in meetings, but yeah, you can't replicate those field reps that he's missing. So I don't know if there's something we're missing here. I don't know if there's more. I know I got some pushback yesterday in the comments and on social media of it's day 1, relax. And yeah, I'm with you. I'm not selling my Luther Burden stock, but this has been a story. Like he suffered a soft tissue injury over 2 months ago and is still not practicing. Did they undersell the injury? Did he retweak it? This time of year, they don't have to tell us really anything when it comes to injuries. I think they've been a lot more forthcoming than the prior head coach was, Matt Eberflus, who would give you nothing. But I don't know. It just feels like there's something more. And look, maybe the injury was just worse than they thought. And it's as simple as that. Now, to me, day-to-day, and he was kind of pressing this too, it's like, how long are we talking? He said, hopefully a few days. So to me, when a coach or a team says day-to-day, really that's like, okay, in the next week he should be back in the practice field. I'll expand it. 10 days. If he is not back by August, I'll round up, August 5th. That is 11 days. What then? What am I supposed to think then? I don't know. It just feels odd. I'm not accusing anything with Burden's character or anything like that, because there's been chatter about that. There was some of that heading into the draft, but it's just one of those storylines that's not going to go away until it goes away, if that makes sense. And it's my job to talk about it. So let's see if he's back before then. Hell, I hope he's back tomorrow. Pads go on next Tuesday. It'd be great if he was out there for that. But that all remains to be seen. He's day-to-day. We'll see if that truly means day-to-day, which to me should mean 10 days or less. Okay, how about this? Will Luther Burden play in the preseason opener? That's August 10th. Now, he would probably have to be back a handful of days before that to actually go out there and play in a game, because they'll have to ramp him up, I would imagine. Type P for play, W for won't. I'd call that a coin flip, because even if he's back, let's call it the 5th, are they going to put him out there 4 or 5 days later? Probably not. Joint practice August 8th. You'd love for him to be out there competing in that a couple of days before the preseason opener, but we'll have to wait and see. Other injuries that Ben Johnson mentioned, tough one for the rookie draft class. Shamar Turner suffered an ankle injury yesterday. They are still working through the severity of that. My guess is it's not something super long term. He did have a foot issue, though, in the pre draft process, so you hope it's unrelated there. Zay Frazier, the reason he's been out is personal reasons, so not sure what's going on there. Could be a family matter, so we'll kind of leave that where it is until we know more. Okay, coming up next, day 2 of training camp practice, takeaways, reaction to the reports coming out of Halas Hall. A little teaser. Didn't sound like it was a good day for the offense, so we've been there before. But first, Brunt. Maybe the offense needs to get their Brunt work boots on and get things going here, because when I wear my Brunt boots, I know I'm going to get my project handled, and you can get $10 off with Brunt with code chat at checkout. I always have projects around the house as a homeowner. Been doing a lot recently. The next one is some tree trimming stuff, so that's going to be fun. But Brunt's boots always provide the comfort and durability required to get these jobs done. Before I found Brunt, I went through several different working boots. Tried a bunch of different ones. They would either wear down quickly and I'd have to replace them, or I would have some foot pain and blisters and stuff that's just not fun. And they just didn't offer the overall performance that I have found with Brunt. The Marin boots are the ones I use, and they're the most comfortable boots I've ever worn. You can finally have durable work boots that are comfortable as your sneakers. They're lightweight, waterproof, slip and oil resistant, heat resistant, and electric hazard rated. Joined over 500,000 other customers with Brunt today, as they will let you try the boots on the job risk-free. And by the way, all their products have free shipping. Brunt was tired of the workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up, so they built something better, boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. So get $10 off for a limited time only with code chat at checkout. That's code chat at bruntworkwear.com. You can use bruntworkwear.com/chat as well. That kind of throws the promo code in there for you. After you order, they'll ask where you heard about Brunt. Do us a favor. Tell them we sent you. Chicago Bears Now by Chat Sports. Link is in the comments and the description of this video. Use code chat. Okay, day 2 takeaways. Kiran Amegadjie gets reps with the first team offense at left tackle in team drills. That was expected. I mean, they've preached that this is a competition. They held firm to that in OTAs and minicamp. The only difference is that in the OTAs part of the offseason, Kiran got the first day at left tackle. This time around, once training camp got here, it was Ozzy Trapilo. Is there anything to read into that? It's hard to say. I do think it's a legitimate competition at that left tackle spot. Obviously, Kiran Amegadjie and Ozzy Trapilo are getting the work in the team drills, because Braxton Jones, who has been cleared, clearly they're still ramping him up. He's been getting reps with the ones during like the walkthroughs, the reps on air, but I don't think they want him in contact right now. So, again, next Tuesday, first padded practice, it'll be telling if he's out there or not. So, he's not getting as much in there, but it's still a good sign that he is out there in some capacity. Okay, the story of the day. The offense has just been sloppy through 2 days, and I don't think it's worth freaking out about. It's not surprising when these camps start, especially when you're installing a new offense, for the offense to have some growing pains and for the defense to be ahead of the offense. It does get kind of old, though, with this team, right? It's every single year. Defense ahead of the offense. Offense is sloppy. Quarterback's not looking great. Pre-snap penalties. 79th in Halas here. Kind of outlined all of that. False starts, botch snap. There was a play where they snapped the ball like 5 feet over Caleb's head, apparently. And they even added that. Wouldn't even say it was because the defense looked that great or anything. It's just the offense is out of sync. And we heard that yesterday. Ben Johnson had to take the first team offense off the field at one period and kind of reset a little bit. So, look, again, I'm not freaking out, but it's just it's a little annoying through a couple of days here, and definitely something to keep an eye on. Obviously, Zach Pearson added this in the first team drill period in 11 on 11s. This was the sequence. Grady Jarrett gets a pressure, I assume, which forced an incompletion or was a sack. Had to reset to get rehuddled. Bad snap over Caleb Williams. Incompletion. Scramble where Williams fell down trying to escape. Not great. Now, it's one drive. You're not going to have a good drive every time in training camp, but through 2 days, pretty clear that the offense is not in a great spot. Now, they're still installing. They're still finding out their identity, all that stuff. But, we're not going to sell you roses if it's not looking and sounding good. Like, that's just disingenuous. So, see what happens tomorrow. That's all you can do. It's next day, next opportunity, and hopefully, some steps are made. And let me just say this as well. I'm not selling my Caleb stock. I'm certainly not selling my Ben Johnson stock. I think this has a great chance of coming together and working. And I could see there being a time, like, let's say 2 weeks from now, where it's like, man, this is really starting to click. Like, you're stacking reps, stacking days. But so far, that has not been the case. And what you're hoping for is, okay, bad day. Let's at least get a little bit better tomorrow. And it didn't sound like that happened from day one to day two. So that's not ideal. Okay, what is your concern level over the Bears offense? I'll give it a 4. It's mild. It's still on the nowhere near the panic level. We're 2 days into camp. Pads aren't on. It's no reason to go DEFCON 9. But when the pads go on for a couple days into padded practices and it's more of the same, that's when things start to become a concern. So I'll give it a 4. You let me know where your guys are at. One guy in the offense that's had a good start to camp is Roschon Johnson. Had a nice one-handed catch yesterday, a couple good runs as well. Today, reportedly made some good plays also. He's worked with the twos exclusively 2 days in a row. So while a lot of other positions, there's some rotation going on, he's getting the clear first crack at being that number 2 behind DeAndre Swift at this point in time. Obviously, Kyle Monungai is a player we're all keeping an eye on as well. Zach Pearson did report that toward the end of the practice, he had a nice long run, put a juke move on somebody, made a guy miss. So that's good to see as well. I think he's got an opportunity to prove himself, obviously in these preseason games, but especially when the pads go on with his contact balance and his ability to shed tackles. So Roschon for now seems to be that front runner. It's 2 days in, like I said, long way to go, but good for Rojo as he's trying to turn a new leaf here after a pretty disappointing second year. Colston Loveland looks pretty jacked, guys. This was a nice development to see. The Bears social media team just put out a little quick clip of him running out of the building onto the practice field, and just from that alone, you can tell he's put some of that weight back on. Now, he's probably not full throttle. He's certainly not where he wants to fully be. Poles even said on Hogan Johns, as years go by, he'll be able to really transform his body. So I still think he'll be more overall on the lean side during his rookie year, A, just because he's still young, and B, he did miss several months of weight training and all that. But from where we saw him when he spoke at the end of OTAs, when I was like, God, he looks pretty skinny, to now, I would guess he's put 10 pounds back on. He looked like he was about 230 then, so maybe he's 240 now. Ideally, next year he's playing at 250, 255. Maybe he can get up to 245 this year, somewhere in that range. But I do know this, the opening presser of training camp, Ben Johnson raved about Loveland's work ethic, said he was in the building a ton during the dead time. So I think they feel good about where he's at, and I think he's going to be a factor in this offense. So that's pretty exciting to think about. All right, take 1 second, click that subscribe button. It's just boop, not even a second. Free content throughout training camp. When there's good news, we'll talk about it. When there's bad news, we'll talk about it. We cover it all, so don't miss out on any of it. Okay, a surprise cornerback could be emerging on the defense, kind of like J.P. Richardson at receiver. Nashawn Wright, who's not a rookie, he's been in the league 4 or 5 years, Cowboys draft pick several years back in the 3rd round, has been getting reps with the ones with Jalen Johnson absent. It's been Nashawn Wright and Tyreek Stevenson as the 2 outside corners. Brad Biggs had that note. And Kevin Byard said after practice, look, he's been balling. He created a lot of turnovers in the spring, talking about OTAs and minicamp. And we talked about Wright briefly a couple months ago because Al Harris was the Cowboys DB's coach, obviously, for several years. And he had Nashawn Wright for a few years there. And it never really fully clicked, but he has a press man skill set. He's 6'4", 200 pounds. He can be physical. It just never was put all together in Dallas, but maybe it's just right place, right time, taking advantage of a guy being out. Maybe he emerges as one of your backup outside corners. He's starting over Terrell Smith. You do wonder, is Terrell Smith a guy that they could try to trade or something like this if this continues with some of these other DBs? They obviously signed Trey Flowers as well, so just a potential development. And listen, what is one thing that has been very clear is they're not handing out jobs here, man. Obviously, Jalen Johnson, when he's back, is going to be a starter. Obviously, the high-end players on this team. But, if you're relatively unproven, sorry, like it doesn't really matter what your status was last year. You're going to have to go out there and earn a job. And if Nishan Wright is better than Terrell Smith, they're going to keep Nishan Wright. Like that's just how it's going to go. So definitely something that's caught my attention so far. All right, quote of the day, and I'll try to do this as often as I can. Came from Kevin Byard when talking about Ben Johnson. He said, "The young kid." I mistyped there. The young kids kind of, or no, I typed it right here. The young guys kind of call it aura. That type of energy raises the level of everybody on the team. Ben Johnson's got aura, people. You heard it from Kevin Byard, a veteran who's been around for a very, very long time. In all seriousness, I think it's just painfully obvious at this point. Ben Johnson earned these guys respect very early. It didn't take long at all. That has been clear. Every player, every coach that talks about him talks about his intensity and his attention to detail and how much he demands out of his players. And it sounds like they're responding well to it. So definitely excited about that. And that is one thing too. Like, and again, I'm not selling my Caleb stock, but in a world where he doesn't work out, I still think Ben Johnson's the right guy because I just think he's got the tools to be a head coach. But I think he's going to work it out. I think it's going to work with Caleb. Got to give this thing a little bit more time, even though it hasn't been a great start. All right, follow me on Twitter at HGramNFL. DMs are open too if you want to talk some ball. Appreciate everybody out there watching. Bear down.